I am Deborah Debris Stevenson, and I am a poet and an artistic director. I worked out the other day, I've been to 22 countries and 9 states in America and worked in the majority of those countries. And a lot of them have stolen my heart, but I'm yet to find somewhere I could live other than here because of this building.
Hello, my name is Scotty, I'm an artist and I'm one of the associate artists at the Roundhouse. I'm from an estate which is across the road from the Roundhouse, and when I was 14 my mum sent me across the road to go for a singing, dancing and acting workshop. And I went in there and I was out of education at the time, and I just realised that there was this world where I could be whoever I wanted to be and no one was going to ask me if I had GCSEs. And before I know it, I was kind of chairing the youth advisory board before the building was kind of refurbished and turned into this kind of building that we know it to be today.
I'm Moyo Adigun and I'm a co-host of the 20 Nothings podcast.
And I'm Shay Ajiwale and I'm also a co-host of the 20 Nothings podcast.
And the whole concept of it was that we graduated, but we don't feel like 20-somethings yet. We don't feel like we have that right to call ourselves that, so we called ourselves the 20 Nothings podcast.
I'm Jack Rook and I'm a comedian.
I'm Talia Randall. I'm an artist. I do lots of different stuff. I started in the Roundhouse Poetry Collective and now I tutor here quite a lot as well.
I joined the Poetry Collective and that's how I met this one. Eventually started writing my own show, which I initially developed here, and then took that to the Edinburgh Fringe. And yeah, it's completely sort of shaped and carved my career.
I came to the Roundhouse for the first time when I was 16, 17, and I was part of the Poetry Collective. The first time I ever performed was in what was now the Sackler space as part of the Roundhouse Slam, and I came third. I then did Turning Point, which is where 30 young people coordinated a 3-day festival in the whole building. I programmed 200 artists, hosted to 2,000 people. I was followed by Channel 4 for 2 years as part of that, as part of a program called Year Dot. A few years later, I then launched my book in the same space that I first performed in.
And so it felt like a really nice kind of bookends that I walked into the building as a 14-year-old kid out of education, and I was kind of like, as an adult, like kind of a professional artist who's got awards and stuff. So there's kind of real sense of pride. And walking through the studios and seeing how the things that we dreamt up in the Youth Advisory Board had been taken into consideration and were now things for young people. So it was quite emotional kind of walking through the studios and being like, oh, they actually thought that we had some good ideas and they listened.
I think the impact it's had on me has been huge, because I think I'd have probably gone down a very different career path had it not been for sort of coming here at a really young age and really trying to embrace all the opportunities available. I'd probably be like a plumber, like everyone else in my family. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think for me, I was always quite a creative child, and I don't think there are many opportunities if you don't come from a family that really try and embrace that. You know, it's hard to sort of figure out what you'd want to do if that's not an encouraged thing, and the Roundhouse encouraged me to do it. And, you know, I really wish there was a Roundhouse in every major city in the country, because we don't have any sort of formal theatre training. And really, like
discipline.
Yeah, we're from the Uni of Roundhouse.
Yeah, I really hope Roundhouse creates a generation of people that are invested in the creative industry, produce something that's similar to almost like a college.
Roundhouse is breeding a youthful, integrated community. You don't have any other reason but to be inspired, because you're around talent, you're around people who are working on their craft day in, day out, and they're going to grow up to be the next politicians, the next teachers, and they're going to teach the next youth, and maybe even come back into the Roundhouse.
The Friday just gone, I begun a movement, I guess, the new movement of my life, which is where grime, poetry and dance all come and intermingle in the same space. So the 3 most important things in my life in the most important building of my life, I guess. So, and now my face is on the front of the building. So I definitely come full circle, I would say.
It's this cycle that I think the Roundhouse even knows it's in its name, that it's going to give to the people and then they're going to reinvest into the Roundhouse. So it's this ever-going story.